Hello, I hope you're in fine voice. Now, should you use a professional studio that you have to hire each time you do a voiceover? Is that the best way to do your voiceovers rather than recording at home? I was speaking with someone yesterday and he was saying, look, I can't afford an expensive microphone, but I have found a studio. And he said the studio is about £25 an hour, which is a good rate actually for a studio, an external facility. And he said that the studio itself had a Neumann U87 microphone, which is a bit like having a Rolls Royce in the garage. And it would all be done for him. So when he did his voiceovers, he'd be able to go there, he'd have a sound engineer, they'd do it all, edit it all up and so on. So it all sounds perfect. And you might think so much better than recording from home. But let's just take a look at the maths. I think actually having an external studio that you use on a regular basis, as opposed to having your own facility at home, is a false economy. And let me try and give you an example. Say you did an audition. Right. Now, remember, you don't get paid for auditions. So you did an audition. You went out, hired your studio for £25, did your audition. There we go. So you're in debt by £25 at this point. But then you get the work and the job's paying £100. So you think, great, I'm going to get £75, make £75 profit. However, of course, you've got to hire the studio again to record the actual job. So you hire the studio again for another hour, and that's another £25. So you've made £50. Okay, well, still not too bad, is it, at the end of the day for a couple of hours you've put in so far. And you send it off, and the client says, fantastic, you pay the studio, and you wait for your money from the client. And then the client comes back to you and says, we've played it to our client and they've noticed that you've actually misread one of the words. You've mispronounced them, mispronounced this particular word. And you think, oh no, so what happens now? Well, what happens now is you've got to re-record it. So they say, can you re-record it for us? So you then think, right, it's going to cost me another £25, so I'll only make £25 in total, but better than nothing. You ring the studio and the studio say, nope, sorry, we've got a death metal band in all this week and we're absolutely chock-a-block. We're completely booked up. You won't be able to get in this week. You'll have to wait till next week. And you've got a client waiting on you to re-record this mistake that you made. Now imagine that. That's going to really hack the client off. And possibly you'd end up not getting paid at all, and you'd be, what would you have paid? 50 quid to the studio. And so you would have made a loss on that particular transaction of £50. If you'd been able to record from home, if you had to re-record something, you'd just be able to go off to your bedroom or wherever with your microphone and your computer and your old blankets, and you'd be able to re-record it at no cost. So in my view, having a studio is great. Having an external studio I'm talking about here is great for backup, really good for backup and for maybe for very, very long jobs that pay well. It's not so good for day-to-day voiceovers. So get yourself set up. Investing in a decent microphone is really worth it and will pay dividends in the end. All right, look after your voice. Thanks very much for watching today and see you next time.